Hello, my name is Patrick O'Melia, and I will be conducting an interview with my father, Jim O'Melia. Hi, Jim. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks.
Thank you for agreeing to sit down with me for this interview. I just wanted to ask you a few questions. I appreciate your time. Just to start off, would you please tell me a brief story about the best teacher that you've ever had?
The best teacher I ever had was my history teacher at the Hill School. He was also my hockey coach, but that's not why he was the best. He just seemed to have the best grasp on what really mattered and making history really resonate as to how you needed to know what happened in the past, so that you stop from doing the future and the importance of things that had happened. So, really fascinating course.
Interesting. And you mentioned the Hill School. Would you mind giving a little bit more detail about where that's located and how your experience was there?
Sure, it's an all boys, in those days, it was an all boys prep school in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I was there for 4 years, graduating in 1976. It's now a co ed school, but it was a great place to learn and have great teachers and some great friendships that developed through the years and lifelong friends.
Thanks for that. And do you have any favorite stories that you wouldn't mind sharing about your time there?
Um, Off the record, favorite story would be when we would sneak out and work our way down the back alleys of Pottstown to go have snacks or eat on Friday night after curfew and at the diner, which was open 24 hours, and then sneak back. It was sort of fun trying to do it and not get caught.
Thanks. That's very interesting. If you could do everything again, like your whole life, what would you do differently?
Um, I would not be mean to anybody, because I had people who treated me meanly, so I understand how that hurts and how that feels. So probably being a better person at all times would be my greatest change.
And what was it like where you grew up?
Well, most of my youth growing up was in Middletown, New Jersey. We lived on a farm that was close to a country club and about 5 miles from school, so I did not have a lot of classmates that lived near me. I did have one that lived about a mile away and one that lived about 2 miles away. Um, so it was a fun time in the summers having the country club and stuff like that, and but it wasn't like we had a close neighborhood where we could conveniently go see people. So a lot of my time was spent with my brother, who was 14 months older than me. And then as we got older, we did have mini bikes for about a year or two, and then I was actually able to go visit my school friends after school and stuff like that.
And what are some of the most important lessons that you've learned in your life?
Most important lessons would be to always work hard. No job is too small. Every job is important. Every client, no matter how small, is important. You treat every client as if they're the most important, and do whatever it takes.
Tell the story of the circumstances that prompted your family's decision to immigrate to the United States.
I don't know a lot about it, but there were potato famines in Ireland, and that was, I'm sure, what created the desire to move to a better life. And I think in the 1890s is when my great-great-grandfather came over to this country, and but I think it was because of the famines that had gone on in Ireland and the uncertainty of being able to feed a family and survive.
Thanks. And What were your parents like?
My father was very hardworking, very strict, very Catholic, and didn't swear, and made sure that we knew that we had chores that we had to do and things that we needed to do. My mother was, I would say, the good cop, and she was a housewife that sort of made sure that the family got to places and did what they had to do, and my father was the stern taskmaster that, you wanted to make sure you didn't piss off.
How's your how has your life been different from what you'd imagined?
I never thought that I would have my own business. I wanted to, but I never thought that I'd have a job that I could create the time to go see my kids' sports and have the freedom I had. I never had any idea how hard it would be to have that life. It was great to have the flexibility, but incredibly long hours, but incredibly rewarding.
Who has been the biggest influence on your life, and what lessons did you learn?
It would be my father, seeing how much he was committed to his work, also, trying to be a good parent. I felt like he wasn't around as much as I would like, so I tried in my life to be there more for my kids than he was. I don't think that he did anything wrong or whatever, but it was a different time, different age.
And just a couple more questions. Who are your best friends, and what are they like?
My best friend from the Hill School, my old roommate, is a former auto salesman, auto parts salesman, and manager, butcher, and jack of many trades. Incredible musician. Definitely totally different than I am. Still a lot of fun. We're far apart by distance, but we still talk every month or two, and it's like we never skipped a beat. My best friend locally is somebody I grew up with, who's now a lawyer in the area, but a good close friend in our hometown.
Thank you. I just want to take the time to thank you for agreeing to do this interview. It was great to learn more about you, and thanks for your time, and I appreciate it.
All right.